Hey guys, welcome back. Today we've got more gun content and we've got another video on the SD9VE. A lot of the gun content I've got here on the channel is on the SD9VE. It's one of the more popular videos on my channel, so y'all like it, so I'm going to keep going with it. So today we're going over more accessories for the SD9VE that you can get for this pistol. I have talked a lot about this pistol. It is hard to find some parts for this pistol because it's not like a Glock where you can get parts for it from anywhere online. It is hard to get them, so I've done videos on this pistol in the past. Some videos on just one accessory, a new accessory that came out or whatever. And I've done like top 5 or top 7, top 10, whatever accessories for this pistol. So today I want to do another upgrade video on the SD9VE, and we're going to go over every single accessory that you can get for this pistol that I know of. If I don't cover something in this video, be sure to let me know down in the comment section below, and I'll probably put another video out including that. So we've got 13 different accessories options that you can go with for this pistol. They are not very good accessories to where it just like make your pistol look cool and stuff like that. I'm not really into all of that, but anyways, we have every single item that you can get for this pistol that I know of that I've been able to find online, and we've put them in order on the least value that you can have for this pistol on different stuff. We're going to the least and then working our way up to number 1, what I think is the best accessory that you can get for this pistol. If you get one accessory, you should get number 1. We're going to go over that, so we're going to start at the bottom. There's 13, so let's hit 13 right now. This is the SD9VE pistol. This is mine. I've done a lot of videos on this. I've done just about a video on every time I did anything to this pistol. I made it look really cool. I haven't seen another SD9VE quite like this. For all the safety nuts, it is clear and there's nothing in the magazine, so let's get that out of the way. Alright, so this is my SD9VE, and I need notes. Bear with me. There's a lot of stuff to cover in this, so I need my phone. And we are going to talk about pricing for just about all these as well. So, alright, so we've got 13. We're going to start at 13, work our way up to number 1. Number 13 is an end plate. If you don't know what an end plate is, it is this little thing back here. On your stock SD9VE, which is what this is, because I've never really needed to change it because it doesn't really do anything. It's just kind of cool looking if you change it to a different color, stuff like that. But this is the end plate, and you can get different end plates. They all look the same, except like this has got kind of like a little grip on it that you don't really need. But you can get this in different colors, and I think a lot of them that you can get are slick. Doesn't really matter. The bulk of the reason to change this thing out is just to look cool. So that's the end plate. We're not going to go over how to install all of these things because it would be several hours of video that I'm sure nobody would like to stick around to. But this is the end plate. You can get one. The only reason you really want to change this thing is just to make it look cool. Hold on, I got it here somewhere. Here it is. Alright, and a lot of these accessories that aren't really useful but are just things that you can change to make it look cool, and you get it in different colors, stuff like that. A lot of this comes from a place online called NDZ Performance. I have no affiliation with them. They aren't sponsoring this video. They haven't sent me anything. It's just a lot of the accessories like this I found you can get on their website. So they're not sponsoring this video or anything. A lot of this stuff I haven't bought, but you can get it for the SD9VE, so we're going to go over it for this pistol. You can get an end plate for this pistol from NDZ Performance in a bunch of different colors. And you can get them as little as 13 bucks. Alright, so the next accessory coming in at number 12 is another thing just like this end plate that there's no real benefit to replacing it other than changing the color and making it look cool, making it yours, whatever, is a magazine end plate. This is not an end plate, I'm just using this for reference. This is what, I don't know if you can see that or not, it might be blurry. But this is a magazine end plate. This is a magazine extension. We'll go over this in a second, so calm down. Wait for it. Alright, so the magazine end plate is your regular end plate that you got on your magazines when you got your pistol. It doesn't do anything other than you can change the color, or if you took it apart and lost it or something. I don't know. You get another one. But pretty much the whole reason of changing the end plate is just to change the color, just like, not end plate, I'm sorry, base plate for your magazine. Whole reason of doing that is just to change the color and stuff, just like this end plate. It's not real beneficial other than just changing the color. So that comes in at number 12. Coming in at number 11. Alright, so number 11 is a guide rod and spring assembly. If I can do this. This is your guide rod and spring. Now you can get replacements for these. The spring, you can get it in different weights. I think you can get it like 14 or 16 pounds up to 20 off the top of my head. I don't know what the regular spring weight is that comes on your custom SD9. But this is stock. I've never had any reason to change this, and you shouldn't unless, the only thing I can think of is if you do something to your pistol, like with your slide, which I have, which we'll go over in a few minutes. If you do something to that and you get it all done and it's not cycling properly, this is an option to change your spring weight to make it function properly. That's really the only reason I'd recommend changing your guide rod and spring, other than if you shoot this a lot, like I'm talking like 1,000+ rounds, these do wear out. Most people that shoot pistols, well, most people that own pistols don't shoot them a lot, I think. I've shot this a lot, but I don't think I've put 1,000 rounds to it. This was just a play gun that I got that was cheap that I decided to do stuff to. I have done most of this by myself at my shop. By the way, if you're wondering, I have a machine shop that I do a bunch of videos. I'm not going to talk too much into that because if you want to, I think there's a whole SD9VE playlist on the channel that you can check out and look at all the stuff I've done there. But really, the only reason to change this, and this is the rod here is plastic. When you upgrade this, I think you can get it in a steel or aluminum. I'm not sure what material it is. I know it's not plastic. There's no real good benefit to replacing it unless you need to. Like I said, if you shoot it a lot and these do wear out, you can replace it. But other than that, there's no real reason to replace these. But you can replace that and get it in different weights. Or if you've done something to your slide and it's not functioning properly, you can change the weight to get it to function properly. But that's pretty much it. That's the guide rod and spring assembly that you can get coming in at number... Recognize my face. 11. So that's number 11. So let's get into number 10. Let's put this thing back. Alright, that was number 11. Number 10 is a barrel upgrade. I wish I'd read that beforehand, and I wouldn't have put the slide back on. We gotta take all this crap back off. Come on now. Alright, this is the barrel of the SD9VE pistol. Hold your questions. This is the stock barrel. You cannot get another barrel for this. I mean, you can get a barrel, but it's just going to be just like your stock barrel. You can't get like an aftermarket performance type barrel for this, which is a pain in the butt, but it's one of those pistols like the Beretta Nano that a lot of people hate, but I own one. I like that pistol, and you can't really do a whole lot to that pistol either. I've done a bunch of videos on that as well. But off of that, back to the SD9VE. This is the stock barrel for this. Slight overview, I did do some modifications to this. I did face this where it's flush with the slide here, as you can see. With stock, it sticks out like 1/8 of an inch or so. So I machined this down, I put it in a lathe. I did a whole video on this as well. I did a whole video on crowning your barrel. This is the barrel that I did that to. And I did do a barrel upgrade exclusive video, I think, on this pistol, so you can check that out as well. I'll try to put some of the links in this video, but there's going to be a whole... I've done a ton of videos on this pistol, so if you're wondering about pretty much anything on this pistol that I'm talking about here, I've got a whole playlist. I've done a bunch of videos on this pistol. Go to that playlist and check it out. But I did machine this. I put it in my lathe, faced this so it was the right size, so it was flush with the slide, and then I put a crown in here, a countersink. Different people call it different things, but I did that. All that is just to give it a cool look. Right, alright, so there's no real performance aspect to that. I shortened it and crowned it so it looked cool in the slide. Then the coating is a titanium nitride coating. I've done a lot of titanium nitride coated stuff in the past. I've done videos on all that stuff. Every piece that I have had titanium nitride coated is with a company called Titanium Gun out in California. You package this so you get in touch with it. You can go online, I think it's titaniumgun.com, and get in touch with them, and I think they've got their prices on just about anything, recurring items like pistol barrels and stuff like that, prices that you look at. I'm pretty sure most pistol barrels are going to run at about $100. With some people that kind of scares them away at $100, but it's a cool thing to have. Titanium nitride coating, it's more durable than most coatings on just about anything. A lot of people do titanium nitride coating on firearm parts, and it looks really cool. It gives this like kind of dull, kind of gold kind of color. It does look really cool, but it is got a little bit of benefit to getting it. It is a little bit durable than whatever coating you've got on whatever you're putting this on, pretty much. So that's what I've done to the barrel. So that's number 10 in a barrel upgrade. That's the only thing you can do as far as barrel upgrades go on this pistol. You can do it yourself if you're able to, or if you can get in touch with the machine shop and do stuff like this. I did modify a stock Glock barrel one time. I did do a video on that too, where I did pretty much the same thing. I faced it to length so it was flush with the slide. I put the crown in there, and I put flutes in here. That does kind of have, the flutes does kind of have a little bit of performance benefit to it. Is it's supposed to keep your barrel a little bit cooler if you're shooting a whole lot, which you have to shoot a whole lot, so most of the time it's just for it's to look cool, and it does look cool. I mean, I don't have anything wrong with that, but it's your pistol. You do whatever you want. Don't let anybody tell you it's stupid or anything. I mean, I've had a whole lot of people say, why do you put all this work into this pistol? But it's fun. I like doing stuff like this. So do whatever you want. It's your pistol. But anyway, you can do a barrel upgrade for this. You can have it coated, not from just titanium nitride, Titanium Gun that does the titanium nitride coating. A lot of people do that coating. But that is a upgrade. You won't be able to get any other barrel for this, so you'll have to do this to your stock barrel. You can get it coated, and you can have some different stuff done to this barrel if you get in touch with the machine shop. Like I said, I have done videos on all the stuff. I do all this stuff at my machine shop, and I have done some stuff for people in the past. Pretty much just on this pistol, and I've been under a tremendous amount of work and different stuff going on, so still probably at the time that this video goes up, I'm still not going to be able to take on any more orders from people. I get in touch. People get in touch with me about once or twice a week on doing different stuff to this pistol and other pistols. So I haven't been able to do stuff in a while. But if you're interested, you can comment down below on the comments in this video, or a lot of people send me DMs on Instagram. It's the Josh Wiley channel on Instagram. Be sure to give me a follow on there and DM me. And if you get in touch with me, I'm pretty good at responding to anybody that gets in touch with me through that. And if you DM me through there, I'll probably tell you that I ain't got time to do it right now. But at some point, whenever it starts slacking off and I'm able to do some other stuff like this, like I have done in the past, I will get back in touch with you and see if you're still interested in doing it and let you know pricing and stuff like that. So that is number 10 at the barrel extension. Now we're going to move on to number 9. Alright, so coming in at number 9 is more stuff with the slide. You can do machine work on your slide. You can't get slides that I know of already machined for this pistol. If you want to do anything to the slide, you're going to have to send it into a machine shop and tell them what you want, and they'll do it for you. Don't worry about this. We'll go over that in a second. Other stuff as far as slide machine work on this pistol, this is pretty much the only thing I've done to it other than the optic, which we'll get to that in a second, like I said. So this port window, people call it different things. I did cut that out. Just all that is, well, it kind of does have some benefits to it. Sometimes when you do stuff like this, it can help with reducing heat if you're shooting a whole lot. But other than that, it's just to look cool. So if you do something cool like this with the titanium nitride coating on your barrel, you'll be able to see that. It looks cool. That's really the only thing I've done to this slide. I have seen other people who have done cuts in here and done grooves and stuff in that. So you can get in touch with the machine shops and they'll do stuff like this to it. Most of the time for this pistol, it's just to look cool. A lot of people end up not doing that to this pistol because it's a cheap, affordable type pistol that a lot of people just get for like self-defense and stuff. A lot of people don't do a whole lot of stuff to this pistol. But anytime you do anything like that, it's just going to be for looks, just to make it your own and make it look cool and stuff. So that's machine work that you can do to the slide. Like I said, you won't be able to get a slide like that. You have to get in touch with somebody to do it for you. So that's number 9. So let's get into number 8. So number 8 is back to this thing. This is a magazine extension. Now I got this from Midway USA, which you can still get it from Midway USA. Don't ask for links because YouTube's kind of weird about that. But I did get it from Midway USA. It is Apex did make this. I looked right before I filmed this video, so I know it's still there. So Midway USA SD9 magazine extension. That's all you got to do. Or you can just Google SD9VE magazine extension, and this should be the first thing that pops up. But I did get it from Midway USA. It is made by Apex. I don't think it says SD9VE. I think it says like Sigma and SD series or SD9 or something like that. You can put this on the, if you have this in 9mm or 40 caliber, it still works. But all you do is you take your end plate off. I'm not going to go into all that. So all you do is take your end plate off. All you need is a little punch, I think, and just pop it and it slides right out. And then when you put, it's got another little piece on the back of your end plate that holds your spring in here. When you get this, when you take your end plate off, push the spring back in, and then this will slide in place, and it does have a little set screw down in here that you just screw in and it holds it secure. So that is a magazine extension. This is higher on the list because this is another thing that's there's a benefit to it. You can hold more rounds in your magazine. It's not just to look cool and stuff. It does look cool, but you can hold more rounds. These magazines for this pistol, I think, it's either 16+1 or 17+1, but you can hold 2 rounds, and I think I've heard people of being able to stuff 3 extra rounds in here. I haven't been able to do that. I don't recommend you doing that because if you ever needed to use this in a life or death situation, it would probably jam. So you can get 2 rounds extra in these magazines, which are really cool, and you can get that from Midway USA. It is made by Apex, and you can get a hold of these for just over 30 bucks. I think it's like 32 or 33 bucks, but that is the magazine extension that I actually got one of for the SD9VE pistol. So now moving on to number 7 is mounting an optic on this. Now, when all said and done, this is probably the most expensive option that you might do to this, even though it's like halfway up the list at number 7. It is cool. I like micro red dots like this on pistols. They're fun. If you ever do this, when you first put one on there, it takes a little bit of getting used to, but after you get used to it, I like it. It's fun. So with the red dot, if you put a micro red dot on here, the optic, you're going to have to get the optic. And this is a Vortex Venom. I think you can get these on Amazon for like 200 bucks or a little bit over 200 bucks. And then you have to mount it on here. I machined this to fit this optic. You can get in touch with machine shops again to machine this and mount red dots on this. I have seen and had a bunch of people talk to me about this thing that you can like pop your rear sight out and put this thing in place of, and it's a place to mount red dots. I haven't tried that. I don't know if they're reliable. I know nothing about them other than this is probably better to actually machine your slide and mount the red dot on there. So that's what I did. So to get in touch with the machine shop to do something like this, you're probably looking at about $100. Probably a little bit less, probably a little bit more, depending on where you live at and who you go to machine this to fit this optic. So you've got probably $100 to have this slide machined to fit an optic, and then you've got, if you're getting this optic, another $200 on top of that. So $300 to mount an optic on this. That's another thing a lot of people say this is completely worthless doing this pistol, because in a lot of cases you can find this pistol for cheaper than $300. But it didn't cost me anything because I did it all myself, other than the price of the optic, to do this. So it's probably going to run you about $300 to get it machined and get the optic if you go with this one. If you're interested, I really love this optic. I did do an exclusive video on that, so you can check that out as well. But that is number 7 at mounting an optic on this pistol. So number 6 is night sights. Before we get into that, I did forget to mention, especially with this one, you might be able to get some weird off-brand micro red dot that I wouldn't recommend to you and mount it on this. But if you do something like this, because of how long it is, you're going to lose your rear sight on this. You can't mount the Vortex Venom on here and keep your rear sight on here. I think I've seen people use the Trijicon RMR, which is a real good micro red dot, but I mean, we're talking like $500 or $600, which I would put a Trijicon RMR on this pistol. But anyway, I think if you did that you could make it fit and keep your rear sight. I'm not 100% on that, but I do know if you do put this Vortex Venom on here, you are going to lose your rear sight. So keep that in mind if you're thinking about doing this, that if you took this off or something, I mean, you wouldn't have any rear sight on this. So that is one thing to keep in mind. So back to number 6 is, if you didn't do this, you can get night sights for this. Finding night sights for this pistol is a pain in the butt. I looked a lot online for night sights, and I haven't been able to find SD9VE night sights for this. A lot of like eBay and Amazon and stuff, you can get sights from like True Glow or Trijicon or something that I think are for like the M&P or other Smith & Wesson pistols, that some of them might fit on here. I have seen that people have put night sights on this pistol, so I know it is possible. I looked a little bit online and it was highly confusing. So if you have night sights on your pistol, be sure and like put a comment below on where you can get them or whatever, or what works, because it's a pain. If you don't have it on there and you look, and it's a pain in the butt to find something that works. But I do know it is possible. So that is another thing that is cool to have on this. It did come in at number 6 above the red dot. If I had the choice, I would go with the red dot over the night sights. The only reason it made it up higher on the list at number 6 over the optic is because, I mean, you're only talking about like $100 or less. I have seen other night sights that might be able to fit this for as low as like $50. I don't know if they're good or not. I haven't used them. But that is an option. The only reason it made it above the number 7 for the optic is price range, where the night sights for this pistol, the max you're going to spend is like $100. You might be able to cut that in half for $50. You can do it yourself. You can pop these sights out and put the new ones in. And then the optic, it was lower on the list because, I mean, you've got to buy an optic for this. For this, it was $200, and then you've got to have it machined. So we're talking about $300 versus $100 or less. So that's why I made it higher on the list. I didn't do night sights because I did the optic. I was able to do it myself. But number 6 is night sights for this pistol. So on to number 5. So number 5 on this pistol is something that I put on just about all of my pistols, is a grip. This actually came from Talon Grips. I think their website is talongungrips.com, pretty sure. But I have put these grips on just about every pistol I own, and they do make AR grips. If you have a regular stock AR grip on your AR, you can get a grip from them and stick, and it's useful. It's not some crap. I really like them. It gives a little bit of grip texture to it, and all it is this piece that it's sticky, and you peel the back off and line it up right and stick it on there. I haven't had a whole lot of issues with it coming off of any of my pistols, so it's well worth it. And I think just about every gun grip they sell, whether it's a for a pistol or the AR grips or anything like that, they're all right around 20 bucks. So I mean, it's very, very inexpensive, and it's a good idea to have. I remember the first pistol I ever bought, which I think was the Beretta Nano. Don't give me any crap about it, okay? Alright, so the first pistol I bought, I got one of the Talon gun grips on the Beretta Nano. It was the first pistol I bought. I put it on other pistols. I've got it on one or two of my ARs. It's good to have. It's cheap. It's not as expensive as stippling. Whether if you've got to send it off to somebody, it's expensive. If you do it yourself, it takes forever, and you got to have the equipment to do it and everything. All this is you order it online, you clean it, you peel the back off, stick it on there, and you're done. So the gun grip from Talon Grips comes in at number 5. I have gotten all of my grips like this from Talon gun grips, but you can get it from other places. So you don't have to get a Talon gun grip for your pistol or whatever you're putting that on, but a grip is a good option. That's why it comes in at number 5. So number 4. So number 4 is a light. Okay, so a light for your pistol is, I highly recommend a light on any pistol you have. This light, I have put a bunch of different lights on this pistol. I've done a bunch of videos on lights for pistols, exclusive videos. A lot of the videos I like are Streamlight. I'm a big Streamlight fan. There's nothing wrong with Surefire other than they're outrageously expensive. I mean, like ridiculously expensive. Other than that, I have nothing bad to say about Surefire. They make really, really good lights. I mean, the military uses them, law enforcement, they're really good, but they're really expensive. So Streamlight is a good alternative to that. They make really, really good, really, really durable lights for a very small fraction of the price. I've gotten the TLR1, the TLR7. I've got the ProTac on one of my AR rifles. And I love all of them. I love Streamlight. However, this light that you see here is from Dagger Defense. I have done a bunch of videos for Dagger Defense in the past. They make a lot of low-budget accessories for firearms. This is one of those. This pistol is the SD9VE. I did do a video, I think, on this, and they made a SD9VE. The only difference between this is it looks a little bit different, and this actually has a strobe feature and the SD9VE doesn't. But other than that, it's a pretty good light for the price. I think you can get this for like 30 bucks or something. It's really, really cheap. It's a good light though. It's very, very affordable. But that is the next item on our list as a light upgrade for your SD9VE. Alright, next item on the list, all the way up at number 3. We've got 3 left to go. Bear with me if you've managed to stay this long in this video. I don't even know how long this video is, but it's probably going to be long. Alright, so we've got 3 more to go, so bear with me. Number 3 is something that I really, really like on this pistol. I really, really like them on just about any pistol. So it is a takedown, extended takedown. If your fingers are wet, or if you've got gloves on, and if you're doing any kind of training, or, I mean, really, if you needed to do anything in a quick situation of some kind, these are like pretty much flush with the side of this frame, which is a pain in the butt. Especially if you've just cut your fingernails. It's a pain in the butt to try and get this, to be able to take the slide off. An extreme pain in the butt. If you've tried this, you know what I'm talking about. So you can get extended takedown tabs for this. It is a whole piece, and this is one of like the best items. Back at the beginning of this video we talked about NDZ Performance. This is like the #1 item I recommend to get on their website. It's pretty much the only thing on their website that's very, very useful. Everything other than that is just kind of just to make it look cool. But I highly recommend replacing the takedown on this, because it is pretty much just flush with the frame. If you need to do anything with it quick, unless you get the extended ones, it's not going to be quick. So all you need to do is just take your slide off, and you can see how to take these off and just replace these things. I'm not 100% sure on how far out they extend over the stop takedown tab on this thing, but it is a real good improvement on this pistol, or any pistol really, is replacing your takedown tab. So that comes in at number 3. Now we're moving on to number 2 and number 1. Before we get into number 2 and number 1, I have said repeatedly on a lot of videos on this pistol that what the number 1 upgrade is. I still believe that, and if you've seen other videos on this pistol, you already know where I'm going with this. But we have 2 left, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you there is a spring upgrade and there is a trigger upgrade. Now your trigger upgrade, just a trigger, is just the trigger. So it's not really going to be a performance upgrade with just the trigger. It's just kind of like how it feels and stuff like that. So just the trigger upgrade is just the trigger. You can get a spring upgrade for this pistol that actually has the performance and how the trigger functions and stuff like that. So I highly recommend, which I've said this in the past before, if you're thinking about doing this, go ahead and do the trigger upgrade and the spring upgrade and do it all together. It's relatively cheap, I think. The trigger upgrade, most of them, you only have 2 options, which I've done a video on that too. Be sure to check it out. You have pretty much 2 options for this pistol. You have a trigger upgrade and a spring upgrade, doing both at the same time. The companies are Apex, and then another company came out with a trigger upgrade and spring upgrade. You can get them both from them. Is from the name is escaping me. It's Galloway Precision. That's what it is. So you've got Apex and Galloway. Alright, so we're at number 2. So I didn't separate these spring and trigger because I highly recommend that you do trigger and spring at the same time. So we're at our last 2 items, the top in our list here on upgrades for the SD9VE. The number 2 spot goes to the Galloway Precision. The name escapes me again of what their actual trigger. It's like Boudica or Boudica, something like that. That's if you type in, if you Google Galloway Precision SD9VE trigger upgrade, you'll find it. But it is a trigger upgrade for the SD9VE. Get the trigger upgrade and the spring upgrade. But the Galloway one is like a flat face trigger. A lot of people like that. I don't know. But I haven't personally tried the Galloway one. I have tried Apex, which we'll get to that in a second. But number 2 spot goes to the Galloway Precision trigger and spring upgrade. So the trigger on this pistol sucks. The stock trigger that you get when you first buy this pistol, I don't like. Just about anybody that has any kind of firearm experience at all, if they don't already know, they can shoot it one time and tell you that the trigger on this pistol sucks. Alright, so that's why the number 2 spots on our list, and in any other top whatever upgrade video that I've done on this pistol, the number 1 upgrade is always a trigger kit and a spring kit to get for this pistol. So if you do one thing, do the trigger and the spring upgrade kit. Alright, so the number 2 spot goes to the Galloway Precision trigger and spring upgrade kit, and the number 1 spot is Apex. I love Apex. I haven't had a problem with Apex. I've put an Apex trigger and spring kit in this. I've put trigger kits in my other pistols like Glocks and stuff. Never had a problem with it. I'm sure there's people out there that hate Apex and have had problems with Apex, but I haven't. They're a real good company. I like Apex. The Galloway Precision trigger, I haven't tested it. Like I said, it's a flat face trigger. The Apex trigger that you get for this, as you can see here, if it's focused enough, I don't know if it has or not. This is an Apex trigger. It's curved and it's got the safety in the middle, just like a standard Glock. So that's why Apex made number 1 over the Galloway Precision trigger. I like Apex over the Galloway, and I've never actually tested the Galloway, but I love Apex, so that's why it made number 1. So that is all of the accessories that I've been able to find, the upgrades for the SD9VE pistol. We went over 13 different ones. Well, actually more than 13. I kind of put the spring kit and trigger kit in too. So it was more than 13, but it was 13 different upgrades you can do for the SD9VE pistol. That's all of them. If you like this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up. Let me know all of your thoughts down in the comment section below. If you found a accessory or upgrade for this pistol that I didn't mention on here, let me know and I'll try and fit that into a video somewhere down the road. But let me know all of your thoughts on what you think of this pistol, your upgrades, different stuff like that. I do a lot of gun content. I don't do quite as much as I used to before because I had a whole lot of stuff going on and I've had to like taken longer. It's been more longer areas of videos popping up on my channel than it has been. I used to do at least one every week, sometimes more than one every week. Now it's usually one every week and sometimes longer than that, but I still do gun content. I have been doing a lot of videos on like how-to videos and how I'm building stuff and stuff like that. It's more videos on what I'm doing all the time now. But I've still got more gun content coming. Check out all the other videos I've got, like how-to videos, stuff like that. See if you like those. If you like any of that stuff, be sure to consider getting subscribed to the channel. And I will see you guys next time.